Let's bring him
Trader
on. J Trader, you are here with us. We see you. Your face is a little covered.
I got to move that. I'll stop covering him. Hold on.
Doing good, man. How are you doing?
Good, buddy. Here in the Republic of San Marino, Italy.
There we go.
Let's go visit.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country.
Glad to be warm, I'm sure. Is it warm?
Sorry?
What's the temperature?
Like 15 degrees. Like not bad.
Okay, wait, hold on. We have to do the math for all of our U.S. audience out here. So 15 C to F. All right, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, it's a little better than we're doing. Right now, it's 12 degrees for us. So let me convert that over. So it's negative 11 Celsius.
Okay, a little bit cold.
A little bit cold. But all right, man, we have not talked stocks yet today. We haven't even really talked trades. We're both making some money today, so we've just been gloating a little bit. But get us back on track. What tickers are you looking at? What names you have, setups you see, etc.
Okay, so in the morning, first thing I do, I pull up my Benzinga. I see the most percent gainers. This morning we had HTBX. I was starting looking at Veru, AUVI, which is a sick runner for the day. ZSAN.
Wait, do you have a chart? Do you have a screen you can share with us?
Oh, yeah. Just 1 second. Let me see how to do it over here. Okay, share the screen. Not really like a tech guy. Share the screen.
Right. Yeah, the visuals always help. And guys, in a little bit, Jason's got a new stock to give us.
Share. Okay.
I almost leaked the ticker.
Share screen. All right. You see my screen, buddy?
Not yet, but I might be able to help. There we go. All right, we see it.
Okay. So first thing I do over here is looking at the spikes coming up, is looking at the pre-market and then the opening bell. I start looking what's moving, what's going to fade, what's going to run. I start looking at the stats. So this morning, I'm going to do like this. We had real estate moving. Then we had ZSAN gave a crazy move. So I like to see these after hours movers, early pre-market over here, 6, huge amount of bag holders on ZSAN, topping at 305, 306. We had the big seller over here at the open coming in, and then we shorted for the unwind. So this is what the market is doing if it's not running. The first
and give us the ticker again on this one. I'm going to put it in the chat.
This is ZSAN.
So ZSEN, is that right?
Okay. ZSAN.
Oh, ZSAN. Okay, thank you.
ZSAN over here. So I like to trade small floats, very high liquidity, very high volatility. If you look at the daily, this has been simply crazy. I mean, like $1 up till $3 and now fading. So just a pump and dump. And
how did you find this one?
Right? The morning over here, so around 7:30, actually 6:30, we start looking at my scanner, and I have very simple filters. So I look for percent change over here above 20%. I start looking for the volume. At least I want to see some liquidity. So this volume is above 400% for 400K. And basically every single market cap or every single float is fine for me, as long as I have liquidity. I don't want to trade like illiquid stocks. So when this popped on the scans, I start looking if I have overhead resistance, if I have a huge amount of long trap from previous times, or if this is like a brand new stock that has no overhead resistance and I can take it for the long.
Okay, and that is Benzinga Pro that you're using. You know, I'll never turn down the opportunity for a plug. 2 weeks free, pro.benzinga.com. But all right, keep going. So you set up your scanner on Benzinga Pro. That gives you the list of names, and then do you go over to the chart?
Exactly. Start looking at the daily. I start looking at the resistances. So I start tracing my resistance. But mostly I focus on the 1 and 5 minute chart. I start looking for levels. You can see over here, I trace my resistances. I look for hold dollar numbers, and I start looking around that number, how the volume reacts, how the tape reacts. This morning, when we pushed over here, we saw a big seller jumping in at 3,305. And then simply unwind it all day long. This was one of those very fast movers this morning. We had CHCI. We had HTBX, which was crazy in pre-market. I got some longs over here. We got this big curl over here around 1258, 1259, and then pushed up to 19. Over here, we had a huge amount of short squeeze. So never enter counter trend traders. I mean, stay away from shorting something like this with this volume. And before, we were looking like, 3-4 months ago, 5 months ago, stocks that in pre-market maximum had like 5-10 million volume. Right now, we're having stocks that in pre-market, not this because this is 13 million volume, even traded like 250 million. So something incredible, especially for the small floats. Market totally changed. New investors, new millennials, opening the account. COVID also influenced this market a lot because a lot of people don't have jobs or they want an extra income. So they start looking to trade. The point is you have to trade with some knowledge, otherwise you will get burned up. And this is the money flow. So basically, wherever you put your money, you will make money. The point is you have to also get the good timing. So on something like HTBX, you start buying this at 19, looking for a $20 breakout. Right now, this is just like at $13. So you're like losing 1/3 of it.
Yep.
So very careful of just like following the news without a strategy, without a setup. And this basically did the same exact thing as ZSAN before. So started like with a pop over here and simply unwind it.
And are you still in this one or are you out of this one?
Sorry?
Are you still in this trade or are you out of this trade now?
No. We long in the morning just for a scalp, and then we short over here on the backside. Basically looking to short pops into these lines that you can see over here, these blue lines called my J lines. So looking to short these pops when I find resistance also on the tape. Looking for a few bucks over here for an unwind. But something like this, holding over here midday, I will still be looking if we can have a curl, reclaim of VWAP, and maybe afternoon push, like SLS did in the past days, like Sino did yesterday. I mean, look over here. We faded in pre-market offering, then held during the day, held these lines, and then we started curling with the volume coming up around 3:30.
Okay. And are you in any positions right now? Because I'd love to walk through a live position you're in now, how you spotted it, and then what you're looking out for in terms of price target and stops.
Okay. So we're looking at HTBX. Basically.
And what? Give me the ticker one more time and put it in the chat.
HTBX.
ACBX Alpha Charlie Bravo X. All right.
Okay. So everything I do has to be confirmed by the tape as well. So first, the chart for me is important. Once we establish over here a resistance at the open, I look for, are we going to reclaim or not? If I see a lot of selling pressure, and when I start seeing the first rejection, so this is my level to entry, we start taking a position over here. This is where I got with the room short, just looking for that position over here. And basically, I start seeing for sellers on the tape. So I use like order flow. I use at the same time level 2, and I start looking for big sellers join the trend. Over here, we start having $15. So what they do, they simply start buying the 15 breakout. More longs are getting in over here, and then they're trapped on this breakdown. And this fuels this unwind over here. And then we have another retest at this level. So each time we start having a breakdown, I start taking out a little bit. Right now, my main target when I start looking at these faders is always the 200 exponential moving average on a 5-minute chart, so around 11. If we reclaim, for example, this previous relative high, I'm going to be out of the trade. And it's basically once you're in that you assume your risk, you start like working risk-free, because until you don't have basically another, I would say, curl for the long side, you still continue to hold the position. So this is it. A couple of trade that we took today, we were looking at AUVI. So this is the trend of the stock. This is what the market in small caps are doing. $8 till 30 in about like 4 hours of work. It's incredible. So I believe that all these low floaters, so AUVI we were talking about, let's put up over here. I'm going to use this. We're talking about a microflow, 2.6 million. So definitely a super low float, 0% is too.
And you like stocks that have a low float because they can move more aggressively. Is that right?
Yes. I like when they have flow rotation. So example, this stock in pre-market traded 5 million.
Yep.
And over here, we have a share float of 2.6 million. So for me, that is simply like a good sign that if we will like hold the open, different one, what we had before that we fill right away the open, we can have a good push. And all the main runners that we had in the last, I would say, months from SPY, FTFT, SLS, and all these, they had the same concept. So they start like holding over here the open level, and then they start pushing. And until I have my bands below, so this light blue area over here, until this is below, I'm only looking to long. Generally, I start looking for cap patterns, and we're looking for dips at this level. So this is what I'm looking for, a possible entry. And just want to show you something, because this I think can be instructive for everybody.
All right, that's the alarm. That's the alarm. Useful for everybody. Show us.
Over here, this is what the market is doing. This is from the other day, BSQR. So we hold at open level, traders, and then we start pushing up. And then only in the afternoon, if we start fading, we have the backside. And this was another one that day was AME, basically the same thing, start holding the open level. You see this big cup, and then we start pushing, and then in the afternoon we have the fade. So around 1:30, 2 p.m., I start running another Benzinga Pro scanner. So this scanner, I set it up like this, just like to see the gaps coming up above 20% in the last hour. So if something is moving the last hour, it will appear over here. And then I start looking for certain patterns. So let's see if we can make any trade over here. So this is a liquid. I'm not looking. BR, this I believe is also liquid. Yeah, volume 11K. So nothing for now. But generally in the afternoon, if I see something popping up in this scanner, 1:30, 2 to 30 p.m., I start looking for some long position. Like,
all right, and that is your Benzinga Pro scanner. As James in the chat pointed out, I will never turn down the opportunity to plug something. So there it is.
Like yesterday, ZSAN over here was a sick move. So for now, let's look AUVI. Holding over here the level support. We had Veru, Runner, News. I believe was a phase 2 news, if I'm correct. Let's see over here. Phase 2 trial for COVID. So another COVID news moving. We have HDBX still there, Mara, crypto, so blockchain. That's another.
All right, do you like these blockchain stocks right now? I sort of do. I mean, obviously, it depends on the price of Bitcoin as it's moving on, like your Riots and your Maras, but I sort of like them. But I'm going to actually pitch a stock in a little bit here that's lagging the group in maybe 5 minutes or so.
I believe that these stocks are great because basically, Bitcoin, you have to spend 40, 50K. And over here, you can buy a stock that moves like the Bitcoin. And this stock, Mara, was simply crazy. I mean, went from $2 over here in like a couple of months over here, $2 up to $40. I mean, this is crazy. It's crazy. Trending very good. A lot of volatility, a lot of liquidity. I mean, traded like an average of 45, 60 million, 45, 50 million per day. So you can get filled as much as you want. I like Mara. I like Riot. Now they're extended, so I cannot buy them so extended. Yep. I start I know last week he had my friend over here, Ripster47. So he likes to use these bands. These are his bands, 513 on the daily. I use my J lines together. And I like to buy when we have these cup patterns over here and looking for a breakout and extension and push with high volume. But we have to wait for a pullback, definitely.
All right. And let me ask you this. And I'm going to throw this question out to the chat as well. Everybody in the chat, you have to answer this question. There are no third-party voters. There's no abstaining. But what is your favorite Italian food? I'm a big fan of Italian food. What's the best dish?
If I have to answer, well, it's not really a dish, but it's pizza. For me, it's everything. So the best thing you can have is Italian pizza where I live. If you come, buddy, you'll be my guest. It's simply amazing. Amazing pizza.
All right, so maybe your address after the show, and as soon as they reopen borders, I'll be there. Okay, great. I love to see you over here. That would be a blast. All right, the chat, a lot of pizza in the chat. So you got some lasagna, some scallopini, Alfredo chicken. All right, but we got a lot of pizza lovers. There you go. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for hopping on with us. Awesome having you here. Awesome getting that pizza insight along with the stocks. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.